Greetings. This is Dr. Carlson, and this is our first lesson in Module 1, Introduction to Digital Marketing. The subject matter, strategy and context. In this module, you're going to learn about business strategy and its relationship to marketing strategy, how we need to think about audiences, and specifically about digital audiences. Within this context of strategy, we also need to look at the building blocks and concepts that are essential to any business strategy, and the questions that need to be asked when you're putting one together for the digital world. Now let's deal with some definitions. Strategy indicates the most advantageous direction for an organization to take over some period of time. It also outlines which tactics and means should be used to actually execute this direction. It then considers the context in which this business and its competitors operates and deals with those steps that one can take as a business and as a brand to gain advantage and add customer value. Now, digital thinking should be incorporated into any marketing strategy from day one. Digital's definitely affected our strategic approach to reaching customers and solving business problems. So we've defined strategy. Let's look at the term marketing. Often we just take these things for granted, but what is it? According to Philip Kotler, it's the science and art of exploring, creating, and delivering value to satisfy the needs of a target market at a profit. Marketing identifies unfulfilled needs and desires. It defines, measures, and quantifies the size of the identified market and its profit potential. Now, the American Marketing Association takes a slightly different view of the same topic in stating that the activity, the set of institutions and processes for creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging offerings that have value for customers, clients, partners, and society at large constitutes the world of marketing. So what distinguishes the world of digital marketing? Well, first, the audience can be segmented very, very precisely. We know where you are, what kinds of activities you engage in, your most recent brand interactions. All of this can be personalized and tailored specifically for them. This is defining markets as markets of one, you. Second, the digital sphere is almost completely measurable. Anything that you do online can be accounted for. It can be measured. In digital, you can see exactly how various campaigns are performing and which channels bring the most benefit and where your efforts are best focused. So access to that data that measures the whole customer experience should lead to better data-driven decision-making. In this digital world, what is an exchange of value? If marketing creates and satisfies demand, digital marketing drives the creation of demand, using the power of the internet, and satisfies this demand in new and actually very innovative ways. A brand on the internet can gain value in the form of time, attention, and advocacy from the customer. For the user, value can be added in the form of entertainment, education, utility. So brands can build loyalty among users who love their products and services and must align with users' values and aspirations. As a result, we often see that users fall in love with products and services when their experience is tailored to their needs and not the needs of the brand. Remember, it's in the mind of the consumer where you live. Now let's turn our attention to the idea of marketing strategy. We've talked a bit about the value of digital interaction with consumers, but the purpose of a marketing strategy is to determine what the business is about and then address the business or brand challenge or objective that has to be met. An effective strategy involves making a series of well-informed decisions about how the brand, the product, or service should be promoted. And the brand that attempts to be all things to all people risks becoming unfocused or losing the clarity of its value proposition. So to understand the context, let's look at it from the 4 C's perspective. What are these core competencies that give competitive strength? What is it about the company? What is it about the target market that we're talking about, the consumers? And who are we competing with? What are those things that differentiate us from competitors? And within that context is this macro environment, which may include things like the economy, the environment, social trends, technology trends, even legal constraints. All of those set a context for your business strategy. So how do we establish value for our proposition, our value proposition? Often we have to look at it from the standpoint of multiple layers or levels of meaning. First, at the lowest level, what are the tangible assets here? What are its features? What are its attributes? How fast does it go? How bright is its light? All of those kinds of things are features and attributes. But what does it do from a benefit standpoint that is tangible to the consumer? While using the product or service, are there some emotional benefits? Those things that makes the customer feel better, whether it's a particular fashion, a particular model of automobile, a particular type of smartphone, for example. And within that is the identity of the individual connected to the brand or the product persona, this manifestation of the brand with those human characteristics. This is slick. This is well designed. This expresses me as an individual. And that leads us to that essence of that brand idea that lives in the minds of consumers. So to effectively convey this message, we need to be aware of what we call the sales funnel. You've heard this term before in your Principles of Marketing classes and others about the sales funnel. Well, really, it's a customer's journey from that moment of awareness to interest to the idea that they'll give any consideration to the product or service that you're offering. And with that, how will they evaluate that in light of other possibilities? Once we reach that step of a decision, often that leads directly to a purchase. Now, the facility from decision to actually executing the purchase in digital marketing can actually be very quick, very simple in an online e-commerce environment. Then, how do we repeat that experience with the customer, develop a loyalty to our company, our products, our services, and actually be able to encourage the customer advocacy? Now let's look at it from a different perspective. You saw a sales funnel from awareness to advocacy, but more often there's a series of interactions and connections and communication points where this journey occurs. So let's take a quick look from awareness all the way to advocacy. In a digital marketing world, we can tie together what we're doing from search engine optimization, promoting word of mouth, using blogs or social media to get awareness and interest in what we're doing, all the way through this evaluation process to the advocacy part where we are seeing endorsements from our customers as well as any celebrity endorsements. All of that surrounds the idea of loyalty and advocacy. So this journey extends with many touch points that are directly related to your activities in digital marketing. So for a digital marketing strategy, Keep in mind these building blocks. We need to understand the context and the competitive forces that are affecting it. You'll notice these terms bring to mind things you've already seen in marketing strategy and in your principles of marketing courses, how we segment and target all the way through competitive strength analysis or your tactics for product, price, place, and promotion. But what do we do from a digital perspective? Let's be very clear about how we define our goals and objectives and what tactics we're using in a digital marketing arena, and the multiple platforms and media that we can use to communicate with our customers. So some of these tactics are illustrated with these ideas. If we're using search engine optimization, we're trying to optimize the websites to rank higher in search engine results. Our idea is awareness, but it's also customer retention and acquisition. In search advertising, we're paying per click and producing ads to attract sales activities and customer acquisition. Obviously, it also gives us an opportunity to reinforce customer retention. Same's true for online advertising. These may be display ads, shopping ads. All of that is in terms of supporting the idea of branding and acquisition. Our affiliate marketing is a system of where we use refers and we'll actually pay fees for this, but it's to help support our sales and branding. Seeing things about our products from different directions and different affiliates is a reinforcement of our position in the marketplace. Likewise, with video marketing, we're creating content that is engaging for customers in terms of value creation, whether it's information about our product, how to use the product, or it's just purely entertainment and inspiration. Social media has a clear use in the overall digital marketing plan, but it's not the only source of communication. It can be shared online, and it has definitely changed the face of marketing because in social media, it's a two-way conversation. Now, we're looking to reinforce our branding, our value creation, and our participation with our customers. So in building their plan, we also need to understand how to measure it. We'll talk about these from the perspective of our objectives, our goals, and our key performance indicators. So in summary, business strategy and marketing strategy go hand in hand. The digital strategy is an integral part of the marketing strategy. And in this, we have to think about who are our digital audiences and how do our understanding of those audiences contribute to the components that we put in our digital marketing strategy. So let's move on to the next lesson, which talks more about consumer behavior and understanding our customers.